Today we are going to discuss about voice, active and passive voice. Let's get into the class. What is a voice? Voice is a form of a sentence that tells whether the action is done by the subject or effect of the action is received by the agent. Voice two types, active voice and passive voice. Now what is an active voice? In active voice, subject does the action. Active voice, subject is doer of the action. Whereas in passive voice, subject is receiver of the action. Okay. In active, subject does something, and in passive, subject receives the action. In active voice, subject is important. Doer, the one who does the work, is important. Whereas in passive voice, action is important. In active voice, focus is on subject, whereas in passive voice, focus is on action. For example, he rescued a snake. Right? Here focus is on subject. What is the action here? Rescue is the action. And who did this action? He. So here subject is important. To give importance to subject, we use active voice. In passive voice, a snake was rescued by him. In passive voice, action, rescue is important. Right? Focus falls on subject in active voice, whereas focus is on action in passive voice. Now, why and when should we use passive voice? Generally, we use active voice, but there are certain cases where passive voice we need to use. Why and when to use a sentence in passive voice? We can use sentence in active voice. What is the use of using sentence in passive voice? We use passive voice to emphasize the action, not the subject. Here, doer is not important. When we want to emphasize the action, we have to use the sentence in passive voice. For example, holidays are declared. Here, whoever declared the holidays, that is not important. Who declared is not important. What is important? That the holidays are declared. Action is more important. So, whenever we want to emphasize action, we should use a sentence in passive voice. We use passive voice when the subject is unknown, when we do not know who does that particular work. For example, the temple was built in 18th century. We do not know who built that particular temple. We do not know who did that action. Right? So in such cases, we should use passive form rather than active voice. The subject or doer is irrelevant. When subject is irrelevant, okay, not necessary. So we use sentence in passive voice. For example, the roads were cleaned. By who? It is not necessary. Right? What is important here? The roads were cleaned. That is only important. Who did it or the doer or the subject is not important. It is not relevant. In such case, we have to use passive form. Now, the subject is obvious when we know who the subject is, right? It is general. It is very obvious who does that particular work. For example, the criminal was arrested. Who arrests a criminal? Who has the right to arrest a criminal? Obviously, police, right? So here, doer, here subject is very obvious. Everyone knows who does that particular work or who did that work, right? So when subject is obvious, we should use sentence in passive form. When you don't want to reveal the subject, You know who did it, but you don't want to reveal who did that particular work. So when you don't want to reveal the subject, you can use passive form. The was broken. Who broke that vase? I don't want to reveal, right? I don't want to reveal who broke that. So in such case, we have to use passive form. And to emphasize the object, receiver of the action, not the doer of the action. To give emphasis to the object or the receiver of the action, we use passive voice. For example, insulin was discovered in 1921. Insulin was discovered in 1921. Here we want to focus on object. What is the object here? Insulin, right? We just want to emphasize insulin, object or receiver of the work, not the doer of the work. In such case, we can use passive form. Passive voice is preferred especially in lab reports and scientific research papers, most notably in the materials and methods section. For example, the sodium hydroxide is dissolved in water. These are the places where we use passive form rather than active form. To change active to passive voice, we have certain rules. By keeping the rules in your mind, you can change a sentence in active to its passive form very easily. Now, what are the rules here? The first one, in a sentence, you need to identify subject, verb, and object. Next step, what you need to do is interchange object and subject with each other. Passive voice starts with object and subject is used at the end of the sentence. Next step is use an appropriate be form. Verb in passive voice always should be in past participle form. Okay, we call it even V3 form. Next, generally the preposition by is used in passive form. Sometimes we have to use to, in, at and with. These are the 5 rules you need to keep in your mind to change active sentence to its passive form. And when you follow these rules strictly, you never make a mistake to change active to passive form. Let us discuss each rule in detail. Okay. Now, what is the first rule? First rule is identify subject, verb and object in a sentence. Now, here is a sentence. The boy kicked the ball. Now, what is subject here and what is object and what is verb? Okay. Now, it is easy to find out verb in a sentence. Now, what is the verb here? Kicked is a verb. Ask a question. Who did that action? Who kicked? The boy kicked. Doer of the action is our subject. After this, to find out object, sometimes it is little difficult to find out object in a sentence. There are many sentences where you may not find any object. Okay. To find out the object, what you need to do, the easiest way to find out the object in a sentence is ask a question, what or who to your action. The boy kicked what or the boy kicked who. If you get answer to either of these questions, that answer is object. Hope you understood. Rama is going to temple. Now let us find out subject, verb and object in this sentence. Okay. Now what is verb here? Is going. Going is verb. Now who is going? Rama. So Rama is subject. Now Rama is going what or who? Rama is going what? Do you get any answer? There is no answer, right? Rama is going who? Again, there is no answer. So in this, you are not getting answer to either of these questions. We get answer to where, and where is not our question to find out object in a sentence. Right. So when you do not find answer to either of these questions, it means there is no object. There is no object in the sentence. If you do not find an object in a sentence, it means you cannot change it into passive form. No object, no passive form. Simple. You only can change sentences from active to passive when you have an object in a sentence. If there is no object in a sentence, it means no passive form. You cannot change that sentence to passive voice because we don't have a receiver of the action. Hope it is clear. Now what do we call this verb? We call this verb intransitive verb. Here kicked is a transitive verb. What is intransitive verb? Here verb is not transist on something, right? When verb do not transist on something, or when verb is not passed on something, we call it intransitive verb. So intransitive verbs cannot be changed into passive form. He rescued a snake. Okay. Now, what was the first rule to find out subject, verb and object? Now, what is subject here? He is subject. Rescued is verb. Now, he rescued what or who? He rescued a snake. A snake is an object. First rule is fulfilled. Now, second rule. Interchange the object and subject with each other. So, passive form always start with its object. Now, what is the object in this sentence? A snake. Verb in a sentence always should be in its past participle form, or you can call V3 form. We have to use V3 form of verb only. Now, what is V3 form? Present, past and past participle. Present form we call V1, past is V2 simple past, and past participle is V3. So always in passive voice we need to use past participle form of a verb. Some examples: eat, a present form; ate, past form; eaten is V3 form, that is past participle form. Here, go, went, gone. So in passive voice, we always should use only past participle or V3 form of a verb. When do we use V3 form of a verb or past participle form of a verb? V3 form of a verb is used in passive voice or in passive sentences, and V3 form of a verb is used after have, has or had. Hope it is clear. Third rule, change the verb to its past participle form. No matter what tense the verb is in active voice, you need to change it into V3 form of a verb in passive voice. Now next rule, use an appropriate be form. This be form is extra be form we have to use in passive voice. Now what are the be forms? Be forms are be itself, is, am, are, was, were, been and being. These are the be forms. Any of these words need to be used in passive voice. If there is a be form already in active voice, so you need to add one more be form in addition to that. Which be form to be used? Okay, that we will learn now. If active voice sentence is in simple present, what is the structure of simple present? Structure of simple present in active voice is subject plus V2. Okay, but in passive voice you need to add extra be form is, am or are. What will be the structure in passive voice? If sentence is in simple present, subject plus is, am or are plus V3 form of a verb plus object. If sentence is in simple present, we need to use either is, am or are. Now, which one to use? Either to use is, am or are. It is based on the subject. If subject is singular, we have to use is. If subject is plural, we have to use are. If subject is I, we have to use am. Sorry, my mistake here. Here it is not V2, here it is V1. I'm sorry. If sentence in active voice is simple past, then you have to use a be form was or were. Simple past structure is subject plus V2. In passive voice, the structure is subject plus was or were. If the sentence is in continuation form, the extra be form we use is being. Present continuation structure is subject plus is, am or are plus V4, that is ing form of a verb. Passive voice, the structure of present continuation is subject plus is, am or are plus extra be form being plus V3. Always V3 form of a verb is used in passive voice. Structure of a sentence in past continuation, subject plus was or were plus V4 form of a verb. In passive voice, the structure of past continuation is subject plus was or were plus being plus V3 form of a verb. Now, present perfect or past perfect. If the sentence in active voice either in present perfect or past perfect, extra be form we use is been. Let's see the structure of present perfect tense in active voice. Subject plus have or has plus V3 form of a verb. Structure of present perfect in passive voice. Subject plus have or has plus been plus V3 form of a verb. Structure of a sentence in past perfect in active voice is subject plus had plus V3 form of a verb. In passive voice, subject plus had plus been plus V3 form of a verb. Hope you understood up to here. Passive voice, we must add extra be form to the sentence. Next, if the sentence is in simple future, if you have words like can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would or must in a sentence, we need to add a be form be. Structure of a sentence in active voice in simple future is subject plus will or shall plus V1 form of a verb, and structure of simple future in passive voice is subject plus will or shall or any of these models plus we need to use our be form be plus always V3 form of a verb need to be used. Now if the sentence is in future perfect, we need to use been. Let's see the structure of a sentence in future perfect in active voice. Subject plus will or shall plus have plus V3 form of a verb. Passive voice structure is subject plus will or shall plus have plus been. So these are the rules of using extra be form in passive voice. If we have TO2 in a sentence, we need to use be. If you have let in a sentence, we need to use be. Similarly, if you have should in a sentence, we need to use be. Now let's see an example for this TO2. He has to complete the task. When we change it to passive voice, it has to be like the task has to. We have TO2. After TO2 comes be. Completed. V3 form of a verb. Completed by him. An example of using let. Let us close the door. What we need to write here? let, what is object? The door. Let the door, we have let, we need to use be. Door be closed. Now hope you understood how to use be form. Simple present or simple past, we use is, am, are, or was, or were. If the sentence is in continuation form, then we have to use being. If the sentence is in perfect tense, we have to use been. If the sentence is in future, then we have to use be. If we have let in a sentence, we have to use be. If you have to in a sentence, we have to use be. Last rule is use of preposition by. Now, do we use a by preposition always? There are certain cases where we can avoid this by preposition. We avoid by preposition when subject is obvious, when subject is not known, or when subject is general. In such cases, you can avoid by preposition. They helped him. Here you can avoid by preposition. He was helped. You need not to use by preposition here. You can avoid it. There are certain cases where instead of by preposition, we have to use either to, in, at, or with. When you have the words like known, we have to use to. Surprised at, amazed at, conducted at, annoyed at, or annoyed with. Annoyed at something, annoyed with someone, interested in. But here are the examples. I know her. She is known to me. It's not known by me. It has to be known to me. The news surprised me. I was surprised at the news, not by the news. The result amazed me. I was amazed at the result. Her conduct shocked me. I was shocked at her conduct. His behavior annoyed everyone. Everyone was annoyed at his behavior. He annoyed me. I was annoyed with him. This book has greatly interested me. I have been greatly interested in this book. So these are the 5 rules you need to keep in your mind whenever you change a sentence from active to passive form. How to change an interrogative sentence to its passive form? There is no change in rules. Okay, let us change these sentences to its passive voice using all 5 rules. What is the first rule? Find out subject, object and verb. Now what is verb here? Catch is a verb. Who catch? Cats catch. So cats is a subject. Now cats catch what? Answer is mice. So mice is object. The next rule, change the places of subject and object. Start a passive voice with an object. What is object here? Mice. After that, add an appropriate be form. Now cats catch mice. The sentence in simple present. Simple present, what be form do we use? Is, am or are. Okay, based on the subject. Now mice is a plural form for mouse. So mice are. What is the next step? Use V3 form of a verb. Now what is the verb here? Catch. Catch V3 form is caught. Now what is next step? Use by preposition. Now mice are caught. By who? By cats. How do we make it an interrogative sentence? Interrogative sentences, be form is used before subject. So here what is the subject? Mice is subject and what is a helping verb? Are. So these are need to be written before subject. When you write be form or helping verb before a subject, it will become interrogative sentence. So are mice caught by cats? Next one. Does the grocer sell coffee? First rule, find out subject, verb and object. What is verb? Sell is a verb. What is subject here? Who sell? Grocer. Grocer is a subject. The grocer sell what or who? Answer is coffee. So coffee is object. First rule. Second rule, start the sentence with object, that is coffee. And next, use an appropriate be form. Sentence is simple present, and simple present we use either is, am or are. Now coffee is singular, so coffee is. Next step is use V3 form of a verb. V3 form of sell is sold. So coffee is sold. Last one, by preposition, by the grocer. It is a statement. To make it an interrogative, we have to bring this be form before subject. Right? Be form before subject. So is coffee sold by the grocer is passive form. Has somebody broken the window? Broken is verb. Who broke? Somebody is subject. Somebody broke what or who? The window is object. Start with object. The window. In place of subject we have written object. Tense of the sentence is present perfect. So you have has here. So when you have has, which be form do we use? We use been. The window, been. V3 form of broken is broken. By preposition by somebody. This by preposition can be avoided. Unknown, we do not know who did it. So we can avoid by preposition here. Here has, you have helping verb. Just write has. Has the window been broken? Is the passive form of has somebody broken the window. Did the policeman catch the thief? Catch is verb. Who catch? Policeman. Policeman is subject. Policeman catch what or who? The thief is object. So start the sentence with object. The thief. After writing object, we need appropriate be form. The sentence is in simple past. Did we have sentence is in simple past? We need was. Was or were. And the thief is singular was. Catch V3 form. Catch, caught, caught. So caught. Caught by the policeman. To make it interrogative, bring this be form before subject. So was the thief caught by the policeman is the passive form of did the policeman catch the thief. Will the postman deliver the letters? The postman is subject. Deliver is verb. Postman deliver what? The letters is object. Start with object. The letters. Now what is the tense of the sentence? Simple future. We have will here. Will, shall, can, may, might, must will take be. So we need to use be. Deliver V3 form. Delivered by the postman. And will we have here helping verb will. Will the letters be delivered by the postman? Hope you understood. We used all 5 rules and tried to change these sentences into its passive form. Hope the topic is clear. Let's see some more. Now, let us see how to change imperative sentences to its passive form. If the sentence is either order or command, structure is let plus object plus be plus V3 form of a verb. Okay, let's see an example. Switch off the lights. Switch off is verb, the lights is object. So use let. Let, and what is the object here? The lights. Let the lights, and with let we need be. Be, what is verb? Switch. Switch, V3 form is switched off. Next, bring a glass of water. Here it is an order and we need to use let. Let, what is the object here? A glass of water is our object. So let a glass of water. With let we use be. Glass of water. Be, bring V3 form is brought. Now, if a sentence is either command of order or request or advice, how do we change it into its passive form? You need to start a passive voice with, if it is an order, you have to use you are ordered. If it is a command, you have to use you are commanded. If it is a request, we need to start with you are requested or you are advised. T-word to V1 form of a verb. Other part of the sentence. Let's see some examples. Get out of this office. Here it is an order. So you are ordered to get out of this office. Just you need to begin with your ordered to. Remaining sentence you need to write as it is. You need not to make any changes in it. Please open the door. You have request here. Now if it is only open the door, you can use let. Let the door be opened, or you can use should also. Door should be opened. But here we have please. If we write passive form using let, we cannot show any request in that, right? To show request, you have to start the sentence with you are requested to. Remaining part of a sentence you need to write as it is. You are requested. In place of please, we used you are requested to what? Open the door. Now work hard. Here it is an advice. So you can begin with you are advised to work hard. If it is a suggestion, we need to use should be. For example, help the disabled. Here it is a suggestion. The disabled should be helped. Listen to me. It is a suggestion. We need to use should be. So I should be listened to. If a sentence has a structure like it is time to, V1 form of a verb and noun, you need to change it into its passive voice by using it is time for, then comes noun, then comes to be and V3 form of a verb. For example, if active voice starts with it is time to, then we need to begin passive voice with it is time for. Then comes your noun. What is the noun here? The office. It is time for the office. T-2 followed by extra B form, that is BEB. To be closed. It is time to stop writing. It is time for the writing to be stopped. If active voice start with there, then comes B form. It can be is, am, are, was or were. Then noun and to infinitive. Then passive voice structure of sentence start with there. Then comes B form, that is, am, are, was or were. Then comes noun. Then to be plus V3 form of a verb. For example, there is no work to do. Sentence start with there. Passive voice also start with there. There, then you have is, there is no work, then comes to be. To, V3 form of do is done. There is no work to be done. There are 3 mails to send. There are 3 mails to be sent. Moving to next. I made him sing a song. He was made to sing a song. I saw her laugh. She was seen to laugh. I let him go. He was let go. Now, if you have words like elect, make, select, found or name in a sentence, how do we change it into passive form? Okay, let's see the examples. They made him a king. Him is our object. He was made a king. Simple. We elect her a leader. She is elected a leader. She selected him a leader. He was selected a leader. Now in these cases, you can use or avoid by preposition. He was made a king. By them, you can use it or you can avoid it. If a sentence starts with they believed, right? We need to write it. Need a be form. Is, am, was or were. Here believed. Sentence is simple past. So we need was. It was. V3 form of believed is believed. It was believed that Raju was rich. Or you can write same sentence in other way also. You can begin with Raju. Raju was believed to be rich. Now, if a sentence starts with people say that, it is said that he is a criminal. Or you can write he is said to be a criminal. Now, one must do one's duty. What is the passive form of this sentence? Duty must be done. He was going to sing a song. A song was going to. After TO2 we use be form. Be. Going to be sing. V3 form is sung. Now hope you understood what is active and passive voice and how to change sentences from active to its passive form. We also learned when to use active voice and when to use passive voice. Hope you understood the topic. If you have any queries, please let me know in comment section. And if you want to learn any other grammar topic, you let me know. I try to make a video on the topic you want to learn. Thank you so much for choosing this channel to learn English. See you again in the next class. Till then, take care. Thank you.